Hello everyone, welcome to World of Madness Dungeon Maker. So, you might have heard of this server already. It is presently heavily run and sorted out and managed and all sorts by the 8-Bit Monkey, who you will quite probably know from my D&D streams with the Dragon Hat. Also on here is our Paladin Terry, which is the World of Little Cat. And Monkey asked me to sign up to join here, and I figured, why not? Maybe it's an avenue that I can have some fun with a friend. And I've come up with an idea of something entertaining that we can do. But first, a little bit of story. So, the actual spawn is somewhere in the region of 2,000 blocks in that direction. And I was originally looking for a swamp. Couldn't find... well, I found 3 different swamps just wandering around here. And not a single witch hut. So I kept looking, kept running around, zigzagging as I went north, basically. And couldn't find a witch hut at all. Could find a bunch of different, biomes. Even found a second mesa biome. The spawn is actually in a mesa biome. It's designed after a western kind of area. And then I kind of happened upon this desert. And in this desert, you will see, is a desert temple. And I came up with an idea of what I could do, because we are running a few different command block things on the server, and you can probably tell by the fact that I'm currently holding some fish in my left hand, that we are actually running on Minecraft 15W36D. Soon to be updating, because Monkey's just trying to work out some command block stuff so it all still works. So we have things like offhand slots, we have things like, let me see, what was it? My brain's going dead. Shields, that's it. Yes, there's the shield slot. I could have known that just by taking that off there. As well as a bunch of different tweaks to combat and the like, so we can see our sword swings oh so slowly, and we can also see that the bow animates in the hotbar down there as well to tell us that we have pulled an arrow out of our fletching. So I thought I would kind of take advantage of all of these new combat changes, and I would do something that I have not had the opportunity to take, to take a crack at to date, at least. So originally, I was looking for a witch hut because I wanted to make a sustainable source of redstone, partially, as well as a decent supply of witches for whatever purpose I might have. So I could stick them into various areas and have them be sub-bosses, or basically just challenges, monsters you had to fight to get to a different area. And there's a story in D&D that I know reasonably well, called Tucker's Kobolds. And what it involves is, in Dungeons & Dragons, among other things, there is pretty much never any such thing as immunity to fire available to the player. So, no matter how big and powerful your character is, sufficient volumes of fire will kill them. More or less every single time. This is a bit different in Minecraft, because everyone can make fire resistance potions that make them temporarily immune to fire. So consequently, I've held off on trying out Tucker's Kobolds in Minecraft before, but between things like Wither and fire, like lava, and poison, and instant damage, and all sorts, as well as the new combat updates, I think we can have a pretty good crack at it. So, here we have a desert temple, the Tomb of Tukar, and within it, a group of zombies, a group of, maybe we'll keep them as zombies, I'm not sure, I might rename them, might rebrand them slightly, maybe they'll be kobolds, who knows. We're going to have a bunch of fairly weak mobs, and they're going to be some denizen monster creature species that has crawled into what is the ancient ruins of the Tomb of Tukar, and they have laid all manner of trap and pitfall in the way of everybody who would come to claim the treasures of the Tomb of Tukar. So that means that we need to have a bunch of redstone traps so that we can have various cool things happening as people are running around here. Unlike Undermine, I don't have access to creative mode, I don't have access to command blocks or any of that stuff. I had to do this entirely by hand. So yay for that. So I think we're going to need things like a corridor where there's an array of zombies on either side that's just spitting out lava occasionally in the path to slow our intrepid explorers' passage as well as to potentially murder them. And we need things like a crushing room that gets, like, compacted onto whomever might be so unfortunate as to be inside of it. And we need to have, like, ideally some kind of final challenge room, I guess. Obviously we need some kind of treasure room, but I'm going to be designing this and laying it out like a D&D dungeon, and then we will be outfitting it with appropriate traps, such as Minecraft befits. And I'll probably revamp this little desert temple a little bit to make it a bit more auspicious. But more or less, everything happens underground, which is good because of that big, giant ocean over there. Fun fact, right before I started filming this, I got ambushed by a zombie, which wasn't too big of an issue because Smite 2 Iron Sword, but then I also got ambushed by his partner, which was a skeleton in full gold armor, and I evidently had not slept in my bed up until that point, so I got shot all the way back to spawn, and didn't know what the coordinates of this area were, so I've now written them down, but I had to spend like 2 hours trying to find this place, retracing my steps through those swamps, and as it turns out, my marker for finding it was a savanna, a river, a desert temple. Interestingly enough, if you head that way, there is another savanna, there is another river, there is another desert, and there is another desert temple. Completely separate from this one. It's very strange indeed. But let me see, as we are heading towards night here, allow me to unveil my skin for this series, because I like to have a different one for every series. So here we have just regular old me, just in my little DM's dragon hat. And if I go into skin customization, which is a new feature, I can basically invert almost everything, so that now I am indeed a wise and powerful master of magics and terrors. I am the Dungeon Master. It's gonna be a fun time. So in the description you'll find links to everybody's channels, and you'll also potentially find something you might like. There is a little, the server is sponsored by, I believe it's Ready2Frag, so you'll find a potential link there to get some cheap discounts. And anybody who has ideas for what kind of traps that I should include inside of this, I will be putting together the layout, well, the preliminary at least layout, for our dungeon in the next episode. So if you have any ideas for traps, then put them on Tumblr, ideally, under the hashtag, which is currently displayed across the screen, potentially my face, depending on how I'm handling the editing on this episode. And hope you've enjoyed this first look, and I'll see you next time in World of Madness Dungeon Maker. Catch you then.